as action begins this morning. Jimmy Croxton looking very, very laid back, talking about his fashion fittings. He might want to break off soon, would be my advice to him. But he's feeling good, and why wouldn't you when he's had the run that he has had this weekend? He's been excellent. He vanquished Tom Cousins last night. This could have been a very different game, but Jimmy has put the run together that he has been threatening to do for a little while now. Last 8 of the tournament, and he's going to get a fantastic opening chance because Josh Kane scratches straight in off the break, a break that he flushed, but he just got the wrong line on it. Stephen Jameson with you this morning. Very good morning to you, and a very good morning to the basher, Tony Holgate.
Good morning, sir. Nice to see you back.
Thank you very much. Yeah, little evening off for me last night, and by all accounts, Tony, I missed a bit of a cracking evening actually. There was all sorts going on.
It was awesome. Yes, I suppose the highlight, well, not for 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏, but one of the evening's big scorelines there. Declan Brennan beating 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 8-0. Declan in absolute blistering form. Cole did have chances, wasted a few early doors, but then the second half of the match was the Declan Brennan show.
Yeah, Declan getting revenge. I'm pretty sure Cole had a very similar result to that against Declan for him once upon a time, that he is, in typical 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 style, lauded it, well, which, you know, he's want to do.
Yeah.
His own back.
And Jimmy beating Tom Cousins. Well, we had Tom on the round before, and he was in fantastic form. So Jimmy, well, when he was on commentary with me the other day, and I did say to him, and I suppose I was just being nice to Jimmy, but I did say that his form this season is elevated to another level. And I did say, and we've talked about it before, that he's been going very, very deep in some of these tournaments, and at some point I think he's going to nick one.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be this weekend. I mean, because he's beat a Tom Cousins that was playing well last night.
Yeah, he absolutely has. It wouldn't surprise me at all. He's all of a sudden got a couple of shots to play here, though. That last one didn't go right. So he's going to leave this, which is, well, we are, what, 5 days away from Halloween, but this is a bit spooky. Nowhere near in the end. And a let off, because it felt like Jimmy had done all the hard work, and he elected to move that yellow. He could have played on it to top left, and with how well Jimmy cues the ball and how well he pots, I'm a little surprised he didn't. Felt like the only thing that might go wrong in that visit was playing the breakout shot late, remember, as well, with only 2 yellows left on the table, and not really been on it. That felt like the only thing that could properly go wrong, and obviously it did. It's easy to be wise after the fact, but Jimmy goes a different way there and looks to take that one long into the top left. You can't really see him missing it if he's on it well.
No. Another good game last night, just alluding back to that. Aaron Davis, Tom Jones.
Hang on, Tony, just before, I thought he'd left the edge there, did Josh Kane, but yeah, Jimmy managed to turn it and hit it, but couldn't get it moving towards a pocket. My apologies, Tony, carry on.
I'll accept them as well. Yes, Aaron Davis, Tom Jones, that was a fabulous encounter. It nearly ended with the biggest fluke you'll ever see from Aaron Davis. And then you think, well, he's still snookered as this yellow ball came trundling around the table as a rescue ball, landed over the bag so he could see it. And he ended up having to play this ridiculous double with the black ball. If it went in, it was going to a 6-red, and this was with seconds on the clock. And I thought, are we going to have another buzzer beater drama? And it just wasn't to be for Aaron. And Tom Jones did get over the line. But that was a great watch. Tom went into a 4-0 lead, missed a really good chance to go 5-0. Then you know what Aaron Davis is like. He never gives in. He was back at 4-3. Then he chucked it back to Tom, and that was a wonderful watch.
I tell you what, I'm keeping my eye very firmly on the old Scouser Tommy this weekend. When we saw him yesterday, I thought he played really well, and obviously won all 5 of his group games, still batting into the quarters he goes. And at this stage, and you'll know yourself, when you're battling away in these deep fields, unless you are someone like a Tom Cousins or a Declan Brennan, who are, you know, so consistently doing it, they might have slightly grander expectations than most. But even then, they're quite sensible about how they set those expectations as well. But when you're in the sort of the 64, the 32, the 16, there's still such a long way to go. But once you're in the quarters, well, then you start thinking, all right, I'm here to win this. That, it feels like the round where that truly begins. You can be playing well, and you're like, well, we'll see how we go. But once you get to Sunday, and once you get to quarter-final time, do you start to think, I'm playing well, there's 8 people left, I can beat them all, I'm here to win it here.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good point, and I think it is the quarter-final. I think it's because the word "final" suddenly appears in the writing.
Yeah.
You know, from last 16, last 32s, it's like last, a quarter-final. Did somebody just say final? Quarter-final, what, and a semi-final? Right, and that's when I think the attention level does increase. Because you think, hang on a minute, 3 more matches and I've won it if I can win these. And obviously with the prize money then sort of jumps quite heavily as well, so that's another incentive. But it's more the titles with these lads. Josh Kane there looking very zoned in.
Yeah, it was a tidy finish from Josh in the end. And he's sort of quietly gone about his business in this tournament. But I've said for a long time, I think Josh is ridiculously talented.
He is.
And overdue a deep run. Beat Luke McAvoy 8-4 in the last 32. Dom Cooney 8-4 in the last 16. That's solid. Other quarterfinals to come. Tom Jones, Callum Singleton. Then a barn burner. The farmer, Phil Harrison, takes on Declan Brennan.
Yeah.
And then we've got Sean Story versus Liam White. And I'll tell you what, Liam White had a run yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
8-2 against Rad McCullough, 8-6 against the dual Jaden Billingham, and then 8-6 against Ian Alley. He has come through some serious matches to be at this quarter-final stage.
He's come through a minefield.
Especially when we saw him on day 1 against Andy Williams, and he played maybe the worst I've ever seen Liam play. Sean Story, likewise, his opponent in that match has played beautifully. 8-4 win over John Rowe, 8-6 win over Shane Thompson.
That was the last match last night. I was here, just watching that. That was in the arena going on. That was quite a battle in the end. But Sean Story getting over the line.
Phil Harrison has also played beautifully. I was really impressed with him yesterday in particular when he played against Carl Morris. Went 5-0 up in that match and just looked the absolute business, and talked about it at the time with Neil Rayburn on commentary, and he's the absolute king of, you know, the club tournaments, the one-day tournaments. He's won hundreds of them in his sort of storied career. And I feel like this format of competition, European Open we've got this weekend, it feels like it plays into the farmer's hands a bit. He gets to play a lot of pool, get quality opposition, really get into the weeds of a weekend. And to see him beat Neil Rayburn, who was playing beautifully 8-6, and then John McAllister 8-4, he won't be fearing Declan Brennan in that quarter-final.
No, I mean, I had a little laugh with Phil last night. He was there with his son, who's twice as tall as him, isn't he? And they're like a little double act, because it's Phil will win a match and he's playing beautifully, and his lad will pick him up on the 2 mistakes he made in the match and say, well, what about that rubbish shot you played there, Dad? He was doing it last night. And
the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No, and I said to Phil, I said, you want to leave him at home? And he's laughing away. But yeah, it's quite comical, the pair of them. But
the player I don't think we've mentioned so far, Callum Singleton, going quietly about his business. Another good run for Callum. He had a few right at the start of the year, and he's back to his best in this tournament.
Yeah, we saw him last night against Andy Williams out in the arena.
Yeah, wins over Andy Williams 8-3 and Brian Halcrow 8-2 have taken him to the quarterfinals. And whilst you might look at that and think, well, it's, you know, he's still maybe got a bit of work to do to sort of justify his place. He's not beaten a big hitter or anything like that. Well, the reason he only had to play 2 games yesterday was because he topped the group by beating Craig Waddingham. So he's very much there on merit, is my point.
And I'll tell you what, I'm chatting to Callum as well. He hasn't practiced a lot recently because he missed the World Championships and, well, like we said earlier, a big miss for Northern Ireland as well in the team event because he's been moving house, you know, with a young family, and that's not been the easiest thing to do, and it takes time, and he hadn't had anywhere to practice and play, and he's come to this event. He said, you know, I've had a little bit, but not much, and I just, you know, everything's just sort of a free hit. I'm just sort of warming up, and he's found himself in the quarterfinals. So that's a pretty good achievement for not playing very much pool.
Yeah, it is, and as I say, what was most impressive, because you sort of look at the matches that he's played in the knockout rounds, and you look on paper and you'd probably think, yeah, you make Callum Singleton pretty handy favourite against Andy Williams and Brian Halcrow. You know, only as far as you can have favourites in a race to 8 with 2 great players. We know how volatile this game can be. But the way he performed in the groups I thought was particularly impressive, and seems to be set up for him to have a good run. Let's go back to this frame though. Josh Kane at the table and work to do. I can only imagine he can somehow thread the needle to that yellow at the bottom of the table. It's the 11 ball in between the red 3 and of course the 8 ball, and he must think he can play on it, because surely you wouldn't go if you couldn't. He's got an angle maybe now to play into it if he wants.
I think he should play into it. I don't think he can get into that gap.
He does pride himself on a very, very precise cue ball.
Well, he must be able to, because he's going to play the double next, and so, I mean, you look at just how tight that is. Still got to get this double first, Josh. But you'd fancy it. It's in.
I tell you what, this is precise if he's got this right. It's so precise. Oh, look at that. But there's not a lot of room to land that cue ball in, and his pattern's been perfect.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So good from Josh Kane, that. Excellent start from the killer.
Yeah, that's good stuff there, Josh.
Yeah, serious. And that's the sort of finish when Josh is playing well, he takes out and you think, how on earth has he not won more? Because the talent when he's at his best is...
Well, what's the last thing he won? Was it the last man standing?
Yeah.
When he played
well,
one
the
frame?
pairs, of course, with Callum Singleton last year. Won a couple towards the back end. But on his game, ridiculously good, capable of blowing away anybody in the world. Josh's sort of issue, if you like, and he doesn't shy away from it, is finding that consistency to build through in tournaments. And something he's spoken about previously is letting himself get a bit down on his game when he's not at the high standards that he expects himself to be. He struggles with his B and C game because he thinks it's no good, whereas the best players in the world win on their B and C games and don't let it affect them too much. Something Josh has been working on. But his A game is as good as anybody's. Really is. Such a precise cueist. Used to play with an absolutely teeny tiny tip. I think it was even smaller than the tip you used to use back in the day, Tony. We were having a chat about that before we came on air this morning. Tony Holgate, the basher, used to use a 7.2 millimeter tip and used to break with that famously very hard, which I find absolutely crazy to believe.
I did.
It's like breaking with a Stettler HB pencil.
I tried break cues, I couldn't get on with them. I tried an American cue to start with. I used to, I'd have the cue ball bouncing through the crowd.
Now, usually what people associate lads who play with the really small tips is they tend to be quite precise. They like having the sort of the smaller tips. It gives them more control on a very small cue ball. But I think it's safe to say, and your nickname sort of alludes to this, that sort of precision and control wasn't 100% your MO, Tony. Would that be fair to say, Mr. Basher?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
They didn't call you precision.
Well, no. Yeah, cue ball on a bungee rope.
But Josh very much is that type of player. But a couple of years ago, he experimented and actually changed the end of his cue to make a slightly larger tip, because he felt like it almost offered him too many options. It was that small. And he's almost sort of increasing his margin of error a little bit. Sort of working towards, as I mentioned, that accepting of not being completely perfect all the time. He's taking out a lovely pattern here again. Should be 3-0.
Yeah, he's really on the money this morning, is Josh. Perfectly played there, the weight.
Yeah, and also he's got margin as well, because if he overplays that, well, he's straight in on the one to left centre and takes the other red bottom right, and he can do exactly what he needed to do. It's a really, really good pattern he's worked out here. I think back to the early days of Ultimate Pool, Josh was with us right from the very start. He was in the very first ever Ultimate Pool Champions League group. That was the first Ultimate Pool tournament. He won the first ever Monday night. He's been with us right from the beginning. And I remember in those days we used to, have a regular presence of the likes of that golden era, the likes of Gareth Potts, of Mick Hill, of Chris Melling. And they all spoke so highly about Josh's game, which I think speaks volumes, really. Alludes to what I was saying earlier, that his A game is as good as anybody's. And for Josh, it's always about backing up a great performance with another great performance, getting that deep run to go and win tournaments.
Well, he's made the perfect start. Faultless thus far. We've only been playing just over 14 minutes, and it's already a bit a state where you need Jimmy needs to pot a ball and get one on the board.
Yeah, he does. Gets one. Gets a pretty decent looking split as well.
I think he didn't think he was going to get one there. He was nearly going straight for his customary teapot that was heading for the hip, and then it actually disappeared into the pocket, getting the chalk out when that red went into the corner. So, opportunity now for Jimmy. Yellows are going to be the colour for the Joker. There's certainly no laughing matter for Jimmy at the moment.
No, and a little bit of work to do here. His last ball's fairly obvious.
The black.
Well,
too early for that, is it?
Oh, that's some late night fare there, Tony. His last ball, as in last yellow, Mr. Holgate, is obviously going to be that one to left centre. And it's all about working back from there. If you can avoid everything, I think you can pick this apart of this shot.
Gone a little bit too far there, as Jimmy. He desperately wanted to hold on that yellow that's just next to the red. So now it's going to be a reroute, and he might have to take that yellow over the middle earlier than he wanted to. Can he dig into this and bump it out? Play for it in the centre.
I like that. It's a good choice. He's actually killed it in too much. I think he's surprised by how well he's held that.
Don't think he goes in. Yeah, I don't think he goes in the top corner, because if it does, he's dead straight on it. But now you can see he's cueing this into the right centre.
Missable.
Got to hold the cue ball. Oh.
Yeah, missable.
And just look what he's left Josh Kane, because at the same time the yellow is handy for the black, there's also a red there that's handy for Josh Kane. And he could actually get on it in a way where he could just pot that red ball and just rub into the 8-ball and roll it down the rail as well, and get it even nearer if he wants to be greedy.
Yeah, I don't even know if he needs to, you know. It's a great chance this for Josh, and he's just doing the same as Jimmy. He's going to work back from that ball just to figure his pattern out, but he's playing so well, you'd be absolutely amazed if this didn't fall his way here. Everything wide open, no traffic.
Played that with a little bit of check side there to Josh, just to hold this cue ball so he can get rid of the red at the bottom of the table next. Just anywhere just above the two middles.
Yeah, looks a little bit disgruntled with
well,
that.
he didn't want to run that far up, but it doesn't matter. It's not
Yeah.
bad. He's got a very easy ball into the top right. This is somebody that's playing on precision, and annoyed that he went 4 or 5 inches too far up the table, but it's not, well, it's certainly not going to affect
Yeah, it shouldn't
the
be.
finish.
That's almost what I was speaking about a little bit earlier. He does allow himself to be wound up by himself when he's not completely perfect. I think it's something he's
We saw a bit last night, because the start of the evening last night, we had 𝗪𝗁𝗁𝗘 taking on her French teammate Geraldine, and there's a couple of finishes there. 𝗪𝗁 fell out slightly out of position, or had to reroute on her finish, and she was really cross with herself, you know, really shaking her head, and that's 𝗪𝗁 as well, isn't it? So she's always very precise of where she wants the cue ball. It was a bit scrappy, that's the start of that as well. So Josh
lovely.
does rub into that 8-ball. I thought he might.
Yeah, he's taken out another nice finish. Never expecting anything else when he came to the table. It's the wasted chance for Jimmy Croxton. That's the news there. Big moment falls by the wayside for the Joker, because there's a enormous difference between 3-1 and 4-0.
Yeah, Jimmy looks on those. That was one he really needed to get. And it will be Josh Kane breaking in frame 5. And if he makes a ball, the way he's cueing, you're going to fancy, unless they're really, really bad, for Josh to take them out. This could become 5-0, and, well, that's a big chunk of frames to have on your side of the scoreboard when your opponent has got none.
First frame, Josh Kane to break, 4 frames to 0.
How's the break? It's going to be dry. Jimmy very quickly out of his chair.
Extension call. Yellow balls in play.
That's a very good shot there from Jimmy. Gets that yellow out off that top rail. He's still got work to do, though.
It's nicely cued in. Off the last frame was big for Jimmy to get back into this match. This one even bigger. Running out of opportunities at 4-0 down. Race to 8. It is a longer race than we've been used to this weekend, where we've seen a lot of 6s in the groups. But 5-0 is a long way back, even in a race to 8. Just got to believe, does the Joker, and he will. He's got a lot of that self-belief that's needed.
Yeah, but he's having a great season. He's playing well. And these matches, this can happen at this level. Well, he's left himself that angle now, yellow into the middle. So he's got to just break this one out. I mean, I think he'll play this very softly. Just try and roll into that yellow. So just push it over to the corner bag. Brilliant.
It's okay, it's a good shot. He's a little thin.
No, he's okay.
He's all right, yeah.
No, it's okay. It's just a stretch. Hence getting the extension onto the back of his cue. Trace the left-hand side.
Ever the professional, he takes the cue extension off for the 8-ball as well.
I'd have put another extension on and gone into the bar and played from there with this shot.
Needs this.
That's a tidy finish there from Jimmy. A little bit concerned with the cue ball, but that's fine. Anxious stare as it went across the table, but...
Yeah, big finish that from Jim. Really had to get them, and did. He's on the boards. Like cliche, we often sort of pedal, especially on Monday nights, about not sort of settling until your first frame's on the scoreboards. It's sort of less true for the top players as they get deeper into tournaments, but even on a small level, you still feel it, don't you? Don't you, Tony?
Yeah, you do indeed.
You'll be so much happier now that one's there. You'll be even happier still if you can make a ball off this break. Oh, he's controlled that well. A little unlucky. There's the teapot.
And it's back. The teapot, the famous Jimmy Croxton teapot.
Not a lot of power in that break is the only thing you would say. He's obviously taken quite a bit off that, purely looking to control cue ball and hoping that, you know, the balls do their job for him. It's not an enormous split. But I think you still hit them well. You still sort of expect a ball there, don't you?
You do indeed.
Tricky little out. There is one little cluster of work. The way Josh has been playing, you expect him to deal with it.
I got down to just 1 second there for Josh to play that.
He's played a lovely shot if he can take that one right at the bottom out of the way first. Two reds by the sort of the upper end of the table are a fairly big problem.
That's a nice miscue there from Josh.
It sounded like a big miscue, yeah. Couldn't really miss the ball, but it's absolutely not where he was expecting to end up with the cue ball.
I'll tell you, I was fearful of those when I played, because with a small tip I used, and it's a very soft one as well. If I had heard that sound on, I'd daren't look down and see my 7.2 had turned into a 4mm tip.
I think he's putting back. Yeah, I like that. Don't have to win a frame in one visit. Jimmy is going to chuck him in behind this yellow, or at least try to. That was a shot that Josh wanted to sort of ban Jimmy from playing, because it means he's going to have to move this red, which was a lovely little linker to his other one. That's a pretty good response, you would suggest.
Yeah, I think Jimmy made a little error there. He let him see the thin edge out.
Yeah, needed to snooker him.
Because obviously having to hit a cushion after contact, he'd have had to belt that one. Well, he'd have to hit it a lot firmer anyway and knock it out of the way. And in doing so, maybe open Jimmy's yellow up. Well, it was open enough for Jimmy to pop, which he's dispatched it into that middle bag. I think loss of turn will be coming next. Yellow down the line towards that red over the bottom right. It's certainly at the forefront of Jimmy's plan.
One that could go wrong there.
That is very true, JMO. Because if he hits that, the yellow hits half ball into the red, it would go past it and leave a gaping hole for the other red to go in. Not only that, he'll be leaving Josh Kane on a simple first opening shot as well. So this has to stay in front. Played that well. Took the cue ball down with it as well, so he's forcing.
I think Josh can go. I think this goes left centre.
Well, if it does, then he's played a howler, because surely Jimmy would have looked at that before he went round the table. If it doesn't go, it can flick off the yellow and go.
Just looking at the overhead, and I think there's a gap here. I think this passes. Oh, it did. Wasn't much room, but it did go. Just flicked the 8 ball on its way past.
Well, he's took a big gamble there, Jimmy. And it looks like it's going to pay off. Yeah, I'm with you. It does go.
It was a difficult shot.
Yeah, but it's a gamble. It really is. At this level.
Yeah. I'll be honest. As difficult a shot it was, I did expect Josh to get it. The way that he's been playing. First real stumble from Josh Kane in this match. He's been pretty flawless.
Well, this drags Jimmy back to 4-2. Certainly gives Kane a bit to think about. We're just over halfway through this match, clockwise, so no dramas there at the moment.
Yeah, a couple of tactical frames though, and it has sort of taken a bit of a chunk out of that match clock. Don't think we're in danger of not sort of playing through the scoreline, but I do think the 15-second shot clock will have a part to play. Punches in the 12, and here comes the 8. Little short, but he should be fine here. Don't think the red is in any way of the pocket. Oh, it was in his eye line a little bit though. It's amazing how often that can happen. The red wasn't in any way of the heart of the pocket. If Jimmy pots that in the heart of the pocket, he's all good. But he's just wary of, don't catch it a little bit thick, so he's caught it a little bit thin and almost missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, if it had been played at pace, might have stayed out there, but the fact that it was dribbled in.
Yeah. Yeah, take nothing away though. Good shot from Jimmy. He's made it, and he's on the boards twice over in the last couple of frames. 4-2. Josh Kane to break next.
7th frame. Josh Kane to break. 4 frames. That's it.
Just a little speck on the cue ball there, I think. Josh has given that back to the referee to clean as he inspects it once again. Now it's back in its normal pristine condition.
Didn't get all of that. It wasn't his best work. And what will really hurt him is, despite it not being his best work and No ball even really threatening a pocket. It's a pretty wide open layout. One of those where I think every ball on the table has a hole you can make a case for.
Yeah.
It will be yellows.
Yellow ball's in play.
This is a great chance for Jimmy to go back within one. What a good response from being 4-0 against it.
Leaving a yellow on the left rail, well, near the left rail till last. Two choices here, just roll this in and play the black in the corner, or punch it in and play the black in the middle. Just played the latter. And it's going to be 4-3, 3 in a row for Jimmy.
An excellent riposte. Really, really good from Jimmy Croxton.
Shades of last night's match between Tom Jones and Aaron Davis, where Tom was 4-0 up, and then Aaron got back to 4-3, then made a slight error when he could have been 4-all. So let's see how this goes down the pathway. Is it going to be the same, or is Jimmy going to go and level this match?
Bit of chatter back and forth.
Yeah, his whole demeanour has changed somewhat. He was looking a little bit befuddled down there, and now he's going to what he's just said in Josh's ear, but they're both laughing.
Oh, no, he was a bit lucky there. He's going to make a ball too. The whole point of Jimmy breaking like that is to control the cue ball. When he mishit this, he's lucky that wasn't kicked in off. And wouldn't you know it, he's made a ball compared to the last break he hit when he controlled it beautifully and didn't. Silly game sometimes, isn't it?
Yep. No, you know, it's got the yellows look great as well.
Josh Kane ripped off 4 in a row from the start of this match. Jimmy Croxton here, you would suggest odds on to repeat the trick and take a square at 4 with 7 to play.
Just landed a little bit funny here, Jimmy. Bit closer to that black ball than he would have liked. looking very much like this match is going to be levels you devils very shortly.
Oh, Jimmy,
That
what have
is
you...
a strange shot to play. I thought he would have just gently pulled that back. In fact, there's a case of playing the one in the middle first, but he's okay. But that another couple of rolls, or one more roll, and he was in all sorts of trouble there.
Yeah, that was a choice. And look what he's left.
Well,
He's just got himself a little rattled there off that shot. And all of a sudden, from being in A1 position, he has now really got to play something pretty good. Oh, Jimmy, what have you done?
I don't know, but
that could be match defining. It really could be match defining.
That was a long way away. I don't think I've been that far on my holidays. I know he's queuing over, but my word. But yeah, what was he doing the last couple of balls there? I mean, it was...
Yeah, for me, the error is not the shot on the 8-ball there, because that is a tough shot. But what was he doing to get on the final yellow?
Following the path of the Aaron Davis-Tom Jones match. It should have gone 4-all. Aaron should have took it out. Very, very similar. Spooky. It's not far from Halloween.
Well, Jimmy will be looking like he's seen a ghost in a minute. That was such a... Yeah, just a bizarre way to finish that frame. He looked in complete control. And just, I don't know, maybe just a jolt of adrenaline. And he's obviously out of position on that final yellow. Nearly was completely sort of totaled on it.
Hello.
But Josh misses one. It's catching.
I'll tell you what he's left there. He's left a kick shot here for Jimmy.
He has.
Straight into the side rail and kick it back into the middle. There you go.
It's obviously not an easy shot, but it's one that Jimmy will fancy going close to.
He will be close to this. I'm telling you, if he misses, it will be into the knuckle. Hello, not going to come back again, is it?
It isn't.
He went a little bit wider than I thought he would, but then obviously not an easy shot. But Josh would just be annoyed that he even left him the chance.
Yeah. A couple of nerves, maybe.
Well,
on display. What I was saying before Josh let Jimmy back in for half a second there was, felt to me like Jimmy almost spooked himself with the shot to get on his final yellow, and in doing that just sort of allowed his head to be a bit scrambled and play a really bad shot to get on the 8, and then it's just a really, really difficult shot. Could be such a big moment, that. It's not just the difference in the scoreline, you know, 5-3, 4-4, obviously that's a big swing. But just in the feeling and the momentum out there, massive.
Well, he wants to get closer to this black, and I'm wondering if he'll leave himself quite a way away from this because of the cube going towards the middle bag. Oh, he's played that really well.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
It's so easy to hit that under the weight you want, because you, in the back of your mind, you know you're going towards that middle.
Yeah. No, you can't play that better.
No, 5-3, Josh Kane. Source a bit of breathing space. But Jimmy, well, I'll be wondering how he made a hash of that. Should have been 4-all.
Oh, had to be 4-all. Had to be. Just so surprised. Really am. Did not see it coming. And I think Jimmy himself will be so disappointed.
It was an unnecessary second to last yellow that made him have too much hang on the last one, and obviously put himself in the mire trying to play that black ball, bridging over all sorts. Missed it by 10 foot. But then it's easy done because you're striking down on the ball. He's probably hit some unwanted side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because,
It's a really tough shot.
Yeah, I'm taking the mickey a bit, but you expected to be a bit closer than where he was, but horrible shot. The Kane break. Oh. What's he going to be left with? Darter ball. It's going to be something of the long variety. No real tapping. Reds will be the colour that Josh wants. Two choices. Well, one really, it's going to have to be the red that's next to the black. Length of the table into the top left. That's got to be the ball of choice. And he's missed it. Wow. And you look at that ball, and that's frame ball. You look where the reds are. That is effectively a black ball. And he's missed it. Why is Jimmy going to play yellows? Surely not.
Extension call.
I mean, they're there, yeah, but I still prefer the reds.
Yellow ball's in play.
I mean, they're there, yeah. A second look, but I just... I just prefer the reds with the layout than the three yellows at the top of the table. You drop this ball short and you're in trouble.
Yeah, he's got to play a good shot.
He's played it well. Doesn't want to leave too much angle here, so dropping into the corner. I had an angle. Looked straight to me there, but there was enough for Jimmy to get across the table, so now it's even easier. Josh looking on there, he knows that he should have knocked that long red in.
Yeah, and the real sort of sore point, I think, it will feel like such a waste opportunity because he knew he had Jimmy really in the palm of his hand. Jimmy made a massive mistake not to go 4-all. Josh punishes him, and to double down on that would have been a dagger, but he hasn't. He hasn't. Penny for the thoughts. It's all happening in this match. Lots of chapters, it feels like. 10.5 minutes left. We're heading towards the final pages. It's turning into quite the page turner.
Uh-oh.
Well,
There's, massive teapot. Double teapot. Straighting off into the corner. A look of absolute disgust from Jimmy.
well, he's decided to bin off the sort of controlled break that he's been going for because he obviously doesn't feel that he's getting enough action off the break. But in doing so, he scratched the cue ball into those corner pockets.
Red ball's in play.
And that,
15-second shot
yeah.
clock coming in.
The bell, we just had the signal So written all over the arena even. Emblazoned outside in neon. It's even been written on the moon. This 15-second shot clock is in play. Got to judge this right. Josh Kane screwing back.
He's okay.
He's okay, but it's further than he wanted to, and
He's playing for a small
it all
window
depends
there.
if he's still got that red that was missed in the last frame in his mind anywhere. There it is. It's just popped up in his mind. I missed a red earlier.
But his next shot was really tough as well.
He's flapping a bit.
Yeah, and it's easily done. The window he was trying to find there was really, really small. He's going across the line. And when you're doing that, you've got to be so precise. It doesn't take much to be off at all. He's overrun it by a couple of inches, and all of a sudden,
That's two that's got to wait.
he's struggling.
Jimmy's blown one, but that's two that Josh has blown. That was a good pot from Jimmy Croxton. Ignoring the thin cut along the bottom rail for now. He's going to try and get on it. Oh, hello, what's the cue ball doing?
Oh, Jimmy.
Ooh.
Getting a little bit...
This is getting
edgy.
spicy. There's all sorts creeping in here.
Oh, what a flick.
Friendly
How
ball.
is your flick? That is a lovely little touch for the Joker.
More kicks and flicks than a professional jive dancer. Well, 5-all is heading our way.
Not quite sure how.
Yeah, 7 minutes and some change left on the clock.
And I'll tell you what, we mentioned earlier that we felt like there was enough time for all the frames to be played. I'm less sure now. I'm less sure now. 5-all. It's essentially a best of 5 to come. And, well, the way that they've been playing, there's still quite a way to go to play all those out, and yet the time on the clock is ticking ever down. And I think, I'm not saying we're going to have a shootout, but I think the match clock will be really in play here. Really in play.
Yep, Jimmy looking the happier of the two at this moment. And why wouldn't he? It was 5-3 down, and now it's 5 each. And
Well, he was 4-0 down as well.
he was. Josh
He'll
is
be
having
over the moon to be level.
Josh is having a moment. Well, it's been more than a moment.
So much so, he's had a moment out of the arena just to try and compose himself.
5 frames or
He's well within his right to do. 7-11 to play. 5-all. Well hit break, very well hit break. It is bone dry.
The only thing, he's got that cue ball into a toughish place for Jimmy Croxton. He has got a red available into the left-hand centre. That would be the easiest ball that he has available, and he's going to have a go at it. Such a big shot at the start of this frame, and he knocks it in with a plum. Just see by the way Jimmy's now marching around the table that I think he feels that he's got Josh Kane on the ropes here. Lovely control. Nice pop by Jimmy, but has he gone a little bit too far with the cue ball? He's going to have to play this red now in the centre of the table. Goes in the middle. He's made it. Now then, position. How is it? Is he on it? He is. That's a super shot there from Jimmy. And he follows it up with perfect position onto his last red. Pots this cue ball, goes behind the black and black into the bottom left. Well, he'd have liked to come another couple of ball rolls, but it's a cut back into the bottom left. It's in. Jimmy Croxton is now 6-5 in front.
Wow. Pressure finish from the Joker.
Yeah, he looked good on those balls there. Really did. Played it, fell out of position and a really good recovery with the red in the middle. Thinks he's earned himself something to eat as well. That's his first time he has been in front in this match.
Frame, Jimmy Croxton's break, leading 6 frames to 5. Foul, forward hand and ball.
Oh, hand on hip. We know what's happened. Didn't have to look to see what had happened to the ball.
The break is letting both these players down, and it means that they're not getting the kind of consistent chances that they would like to really take control of this match. We are under 5 minutes to play, and Josh Kane can make this 6-all. This, though, with
That nudge, he just didn't want that there.
with 4.5 to play, though, he's got to be so careful. It could be his last chance, because Jimmy gets to the table and takes these. There won't be time really to come back. So Josh Kane right now is bang under it. Needs to take these out to take us to 6-6. Any mistake from here fatal. He's worked around these yellows at the top of the table really well after that flick on the red that you mentioned, Tony.
See, Jimmy knows if he'd have kept that cue ball on the table, it would have been him going through these balls, and he would have been going through at a lot slower pace than this. But there is going to be 3 minutes left on the clock at 6-all, and it will be Josh Kane to break.
Pressure finish this from Josh. He has stepped up.
This for 6 each. Down it goes. So 3 minutes and 6 seconds left. 6-all.
It's a de facto decider, isn't it? 3 minutes is
plenty.
Is a good amount of time for a frame. You might even have time for both players to play in that frame if required. This is for a semi-final spot. Neither player will get to 8 from here, you wouldn't expect. But
Chris Mellin got 3 with that amount of time and had time for a rest.
Jimmy knows. Josh Kane to break.
6 frames.
3
here
minutes
we go.
left. This is for the semi-final.
Well, cue ball staying on the table, or is it? Oh, it's dry. Oh, what do you do with that? Yellow goes into the top left.
You don't want to be yellows.
I think.
Or do you?
Right, what goes through your mind? You called extension.
It's not a nice leave either way, is it? The yellows at the bottom of the table are horrible. The reds have their issues. Maybe not anymore. As Jimmy made that red at the top of the table
playing for
available
the 6 red.
to top right. 2.5 minutes. There's still plenty of time here. Neither player wants to be the first to go, but someone will get the chance to have a dip here to take themselves into the final 4.
Well, you go now. You go now. You got the red into the middle. You have to have a lunch. It's a straight red into the middle. The reds are open.
If Jimmy plays this well, he can have a free go here. He wouldn't even need to leave. He wouldn't leave time for a counter.
No.
Just needs to hold himself together. At worst, he should have a 6 red shootout. He shouldn't be able to lose from here, Jimmy.
That's a nice little bump. That is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Both those reds going to the bottom left. One goes bottom right. It's take your pick time. Just keep the cue ball in position. That's all you got to do. Nothing in the way. That's not great. It's overrun it. Don't know why he didn't just get the cue up there and just and bang it in and stop the white. Just have to go across the table now, one into the middle and drop down for the one at the bottom.
1:15 to play.
Plenty of time. This is it. If he can get the cue ball in good position here onto the next red, he's going to follow through and come onto that right-hand side rail.
The red doesn't pass the yellow to middle, I don't think.
No, because he
Going
cut
long.
and cue ball back down the table. He could screw into the rail, though. There's another way of doing it. Oh, look at the angle.
40 seconds.
He should be relaxed because you know if you miss, he's not going to have time to get them, surely. And he's missed.
Jaws it.
Has he got time? 20-odd seconds? No.
Yeah, he's got to be careful as well. He can't throw one at this because the red's hanging over the bag. He doesn't want to give it away.
He's taking the 6 red.
We're going to go the distance. Knows he just has to stay at the table to prevent Jimmy from having that poke at the red to give himself a shot. Shot clock is over, game clock. We will go to a 6 red shootout to decide who goes to the final 4.
Oh.
6-all we finish. Nothing between them. Both made their mistakes. Both had their chances. Both will feel like they did enough to win. Both will be relieved that they haven't lost. 6-6 we finish, and 6 is the operative word, as it's a 6 red shootout to find out who's going to the semi-finals of the European Open.
3, 2, 1, lag. Sure. She bounced back down.
Will be the joker to go first. Josh Kane won the lag pretty handily and has put Jimmy into bat. He's looking for a solid time. That's all you can do when you go first. Solid time, put the pressure on. Yeah,
That's
I like that
good
break.
break.
Cue ball and object ball must be stationary. Rest can still be moving. He can go quick from here. This is going to be very decent from Jimmy if he doesn't miss. Just took a little bit of time on that one.
He did.
Steadies himself, and it's going to end up above par. North of 25 seconds. We'll get the confirmed time with you momentarily. It felt like 3 balls into that Jimmy was going to have a really good time. He's ended up a little bit above par.
I think when you look at it, you think he was going 21-22, and then it's just those last couple of balls, and he added 2 or 3, maybe 4 seconds onto what could have been a very good time indeed.